because you see the talent and you see the potential and you see the sky's the limit. That's where we are with the Bears. I'll contend this top 7 or 8 roster. It's like when your dad used to say, you're better than that, right? Like Chicago and Ben Johnson has figured this out very quickly. This is a run game, takeaway, defense. That's the identity. It's not Caleb Williams. And he sees it and he knows it. He's asking less and less. Diplomatically, I'll be diplomatic. The passing game is a work in progress. I mean, Ben Johnson's resting face watching Caleb Williams is discouraged. So he sees the truth. This is not a team that can win by shootout, having to throw the ball. It's not a team that can fall behind and come flying back like a Denver. They can't. This is all about the run game. It's all about takeaways defensively. Remember, this team, and we said it at the time, when they went out and got Drew Dahlman, the center from Atlanta, I would have people come up to me in Chicago. What do you think about him? I said, they're going to have one of the best center-guard combos in the league. Joe Tooney, Drew Dahlman, Jonah Jackson. And an offensive line, veteran offensive linemen don't play in the preseason. So it was going to be a turbulent September. We're in October now, and that O-line has meshed. That is big boy guard, center, guard. There are huge holes the last 3 weeks. Big, giant holes between the tackles, outside the tackles. So Ben has figured it out. He's discouraged with the passing game. You can see his body language. This is going to be a run game, control the clock. And here's the other thing. I mean, it's not like Ben Johnson's Ben Franklin. They're not inventing electricity here. It's basic stuff. They can actually now take a lead and score in the first quarter. It's not revolutionary. It's what the Chiefs and the Rams and the good teams do. They score in the first quarter. And they also have cut Caleb Williams' sacks in half because they get the ball out of Caleb's hands. I mean, this team, they're now in the last couple of weeks, they're top 3 in the league in yards after catch. Their skill's excellent. Roma Dunze, Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, DeAndre Swift, DJ Moore. They got dudes. This is a lot closer to the Kansas City Chiefs than it is the Panthers. They've got dudes. They got to get that ball out of Caleb's hands and let those guys do the work. Because the passing game with Caleb, I've been on this for weeks. He may just never be a really super accurate guy. It may be a Cam Newton thing.
Okay. Colin's on a roll here talking about all the things that players can't do and can't be today. Listen, with the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams, I understand what he's saying, where it's just like, listen, when you criticize a team when they win, it's because you believe in what they can achieve, et cetera, et cetera. And I talked about this with the Chicago Bears and saying how they have not fully realized what they can be, that they're leaving so many points and just offensive eruptions on the table. And we've seen that now game after game after game. You see what Ben Johnson is able to do for this offense. You see what he's able to do, that once Caleb can really fit into his role better, this offense can be just absolutely just a juggernaut. And it's not right now. And Caleb Williams is that limiting factor, which again is fine. It's fine. It's his second season and his first actual season with a real coach and a real team around him. So that's fine. That's okay. But what I think is ridiculous for Colin to say here is like, well, the Bears, they're not good enough they can't come from behind. They can't have a big fourth quarter. And it's just like, of course they can. Of course they can. Are they great enough right now where they can consistently rely on that potential? No, but neither are the Denver Broncos. I'm super high on the Denver Broncos, but neither of the Denver Broncos can't rely on that game after game either. Because when you're a young team, when you're a young quarterback, and you're a young coach-quarterback duo, consistency is the hardest part. Spencer Rattler in this very game, and this is what I'll take issue with, because Caleb Williams did not have this great game. He was pretty inconsistent. He just was. But he also had some beautiful plays, and some beautiful throws, and some beautiful moments. So did Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler also had some awful plays and some awful interceptions and some awful moments, but he also had some really nice plays. And I talked about this a couple of years ago. All the different degrees of backup quarterbacks and just quarterback play in general. How there's different levels of consistency. There's some quarterbacks who are really, really, really good quarterbacks. They'll never be great. They're never will be elite. But what makes them really good is that they're just really consistent. Their floor isn't crazy. Then you have other quarterbacks. You have legitimate backup quarterbacks who have the ability to do some of the most amazing, extraordinary, who can literally have moments where they play like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, that they can truly be special. They are so inconsistent. They are so insanely consistent that you're just like, this is not possible. Like we can't sustain, we can't put you out there regularly because you're so inconsistent. Like, so there's all these different degrees of consistency. And to me, the mark of what makes someone truly special is their level of consistency, not just their ability to tap into this peak performance. It's how consistent can you be? How consistent can you be? That's incredibly, incredibly important. And that is something that Caleb needs to work on sustaining. But I don't understand why we're so obsessed with trying to now put a cap on either this Bears team as a whole or Caleb Williams. We're like, oh, he'll never be able to do this. He'll never be this accurate. And it's just like, that's a lot of nevers. That's a lot of can'ts. And I don't know, for those of you who played sports know that when anytime everyone tells you something that you can't do, it's just like, it's like, what did you just tell me? You tell me that I can't do something, like that I'll never be this, that I'll never be that. Like, man, you're talking to someone who's heard that his entire life. And so like, I cringe at that. I really do. I'm just like, wait, what? What are we saying right now? And maybe it's true. Maybe he won't ever be as accurate or this or that. But it's just like, I don't understand why we're all about trying to like reach this conclusion right now. Again, in his first year with an actual coach. But yeah, I think it's okay to say that right now, a limiting factor for what can make this team truly special is a bit of Caleb Williams. I do think that. And again, that's okay. If we were 5 years into this thing, then that would be problematic. Then we would really be like, okay, like, what do we do here? Can we ever truly reach our potential with Caleb? But from my viewpoint, it's year one. It's year one. I said that going into this season. It's year one. I don't care at all what happened last year. I don't care at all what happened last season. None of that matters. It was an absolute circus, a revolving door of coaches. There's no development there. This is the season where the development begins. This is the year. This is the season. And so that's what we're seeing. That's what I'm waiting to continue to watch and move into next year and beyond. This was never about them just being able to just erupt and explode and just prove that they're Super Bowl contenders and that Caleb Williams is now the MVP, like in a jump. Like that was never my expectations or what I believed was truly on the table here. But they are having a ton of success. They are winning. They do need to play better. Caleb absolutely needs to play better. Ben Johnson is clearly proving just how special and how great he is. And, you talk about them being top 3 in YAC. Yeah, if Caleb Williams can be a little bit more smoother with delivering the ball, they can get even more YAC. But YAC for the most part, outside of you being a legitimately inaccurate player, really is scheme, really is going to be a coaching thing, and that's why we see the Andy Reids and now Ben Johnson being so high up there. In a lot of ways, it's just up to the quarterback just to kind of like not mess it up and to not kind of hold things back a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I think this was, listen, Caleb's box score in this game wasn't the best. What was 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, the 172 yards, and I think he had a 60 something passer rating or whatever it was. Yeah, 61.7. I think on the surface that box score looks a lot worse than it really is, but also he's had a box score that looked really awesome, that looked a lot better than what it really was. So that's why I don't think you can get too lost in the stats necessarily. I just think there's still plenty of room for improvement. But I do believe that Caleb has showed in some of these intense moments, or if you were down, that you need to kind of come back and this or that. But yeah, right now, especially, the run game and they're going to want to rely on that. And it shows Ben Johnson's flexibility and understanding of, just trying to come away with wins right now and not try to force necessarily what he wants to do. Game after game after game, I think Ben Johnson's already showing his maturity. Defensive hirings were obviously really smart. Defense has been significantly better as well. So, you know, all in all, I think it's coming together, but you just can't force a team like this to already be who the Bills and the Ravens and the Eagles and the Rams and the Chiefs have been for so long. You can't just force them to be that right now. And you can't also be so quick to put a cap on them and just be like, well, they're not that either, or that they have no chance to show us those moments. That comment doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But all in all, still a lot of positives. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.